Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tesla stock had a big day on Friday. The stock was up 3.64% in regular trading. Take this in context with what you've seen from Nvidia, down 3%, Amazon down over 1%, Microsoft down close to 3%, Palantir down 1.5%. And you could pretty much go on and on with different examples of this. Tesla was a real winner. Now, I was actually surprised how well the markets did on Friday, generally speaking, considering the jobs report was so bad. That definitely wasn't in my bingo card for the markets to have that kind of a reaction. Now, in this video, we're going to discuss your breaking news you need to know, all of the news to get you caught up to speed. There's a lot of comments from Trump, from Besant, trade comments, all kinds of different things that are going to be important heading into the next week. But also, we clearly need to talk about Elon's compensation package and some of the news coming out in regards to this, okay? Including Elon Musk officially stepping back from politics. This is a big catalyst for Tesla. And if you don't understand why, or you're not bullish on this, you really need to watch this video. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Check out that link down below in the description of today's episode. If you want to come invest in small cap stocks, AI stocks, before Wall Street even understands the opportunity. See, that's the strategy that I have been pursuing for a long time. It has gotten me in Palantir at $10 on IPO day, IONQ at $7. Nvidia back when it was like $70 pre-split, right? Tons of examples of this, but you gotta spot things early if you want to make a lot of money. High quality companies, that is. Like Nvidia, if you could have spotted even a little bit of what was coming in the future, you could have bought Nvidia, a high quality company, at much lower prices than where it is today. Okay, same for Palantir. You don't have to go into the dog shit bottom 10% of stocks to get those outsized returns and take on a shit ton of risk. You don't have to do that. It's difficult to find the early stage winners. That is what we are doing and what we continue to strive to do. One stock in particular, I have over $100,000 invested in. Yeah, sure, the stock's up like 50%, and I'm waiting for a pullback to get even more. But I think that one's going to be a real winner. Here's the thing. Wall Street doesn't know about this yet. Well, they're starting to figure it out. Retail doesn't know about this yet. Essentially a brand new company, in quotes there. Come join it if you would like to. Not a financial advisor, not a recommendation. You will lose all of your money if you blindly invest based on what someone else does if you do not understand the companies you're investing in. So contact a financial advisor before making a financial investment. With that said, let's get into today's episode. Okay, so first things first, let's get into your Tesla stock news. We obviously have to dive into a little bit more of this compensation package, what the board just said, and why this is so big for Tesla. Now, as Sawyer Merritt says here, quoting the Tesla proxy filing, the board says, quote, ultimately, the committee believed it to be critical to Tesla to secure Musk's commitment to Tesla, receive assurances that Musk's involvement with the political sphere would wind down in a timely manner. Hey, I talked about this for a while on the channel, that the last compensation package we had, the third package of the 2018 one that was approved, I said, hey, this means Elon no longer focused on politics the way that he was previously. That Elon is actually a positive force for you as an investor now at this point. Well, it's back. Okay, Elon is back. Now, It says the company doesn't really go into any further depth on this, so it's unclear what kind of assurances they may have received. The company also says it wants to develop a meaningful framework for long-term succession planning led by the board with Elon's participation. And there does seem to be some confusion about the operational milestones in Tesla's new proposed pay package for Elon Musk, so let me clarify. Elon can pair any operational milestone with a market cap milestone to unlock a tranche. The operational milestones aren't tied to specific tranches. For instance, if Tesla hits a $2 trillion market cap and Elon achieves any operational milestone, that tranche would pay out. So basically, if Tesla's market cap went to 5 trillion, okay, Elon would unlock the 2 trillion, 2.5 trillion, 3 trillion, 3.5 trillion, 4 trillion, 4.5 trillion, $5 trillion tranche. 7 tranches. Assuming Tesla delivered 20 million vehicles, 10 million active FSD subscriptions, 3 million robots delivered, 1 million robotaxis in commercial operation. That's 4, 50 billion in adjusted EBITDA, 80 billion in adjusted EBITDA. That's 6. Okay. If Elon only got to 80 billion in adjusted EBITDA, he would only unlock 6 tranches, even though the market cap would be of 7 tranches, okay? So you have to hit these milestones. But for an example, if Tesla got to, $10 trillion market cap, but never hit 1 million robots, 20 million vehicles, 10 million active FSD subscriptions, but somehow got to, let's say, 400 billion in adjusted EBITDA, he would still get the 6 tranches, right? He would still get paid out, even though these have not been completed. They're not in operational order. They are just milestones in and of themselves. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Tesla has launched a new website in connection with its 2025 annual shareholder meeting. It says Elon earns nothing under the 2025 CEO Performance Award until he meets a series of incredibly ambitious market capitalization and operational milestones. If he succeeds, Tesla will become the most valuable company in history with an $8.5 trillion market cap, and shareholders will benefit from incredible growth and value creation. Now, you gotta just, sorry to say this, because I don't hate, anyone. I don't hold grudges against anyone. I think it's one of my superpowers. I can just let shit go. Seriously, if you are holding on to something from the past, no matter what it is, a person, I know it's hard to do, but you gotta just forgive him. You gotta move on, right? It's a superpower. It frees up your mind to work on things that are really important and to focus on things that are really important. It's actually funny. I'm going on a little tangent here. I always joke with my mom because she holds grudges like you have never heard before. I always joke that in 5th grade, a girl made fun of her and she still hates her, and she'll spit off the name. I was joking, but come to find out, there is actually a girl from 3rd grade that made fun of her that she does not like to this day. Long story short, I hate the individuals that hate on this compensation package. If you hate this compensation package, just unsubscribe now, because this is not the place for you, bro. It's just not. Let me say this in clearest English I can possibly speak. For Elon to get paid anything, Tesla stock has to double. Double. Are we hearing this? Double. Right? Need to hear an echo. Means Tesla needs to get to $640 a share and deliver 20 million robots, or 20 million cars, basically robots, 1 million Optimus bots, have 1 million robotaxis in commercial operations. Guys, the stock has to double to get paid anything. If you hate on that, you're just a hater by nature, and I don't fuck with you. Okay? This is a massive win for Tesla investors. Instead of say Tesla, paying Elon for good or bad performance. He actually has to create value. This is unlike any other CEO compensation package out there. Yes, the value that Elon could make, the money he can make, is significantly more than many other CEOs. But the threshold to do so is not even comparable to other CEOs. This is almost like taking, the world's biggest guy, like 800 pounds, and telling him, within the next 10 years, you have to win the fucking marathon against, world-renowned athletes. Like, the odds are so stacked in your favor. Like, if you do that, you should be rewarded for that. On a deeper level, guys, this goes into the psychology of how Wall Street has been viewing Tesla. And we're going to talk about this more in depth in the next video because I have a pretty bold prediction for Tesla stock into the end of this year. But in simple terms, this puts Tesla on the radar. This just shocked Wall Street. Like, for Wall Street that has been doubting Tesla for a long time, it's hard to do that at this point. Okay? If Elon only gets compensated, if Tesla doubles, that's pretty ridiculous in a lot of Wall Street's eyes. But if Tesla succeeds, the rewards are massive. And I think this starts something big in Tesla. But we'll talk about that more in the next video. Now, Tesla has announced that they are now selling superchargers fully managed by Tesla. They say, quote, purchase and install superchargers at your business. Superchargers are compatible with all electric vehicles, bringing EV drivers to your business by offering convenient, reliable charging. We treat your site like we treat our sites by providing you with a full service package that includes network operations, preventative maintenance, and driver support. We're able to guarantee 97% uptime, the highest in the industry. Also in big news today, the first ever Tesla Model Y deliveries have officially begun in India. The first ever Tesla Megapacks produced at the company's new mega factory in Shanghai are about to be turned on at Neon, Australia's second 270 megawatt, 540 megawatt hour stage of the Western Downs Green Power Hub. It's a $285 million big battery. Work has been completed and the battery has started the energization process 6 weeks ahead of schedule. And we have a new all-black or matte black Optimus robot that is serving popcorn at the Tesla diner. Now, Tesla is holding an event in Vegas in a couple of days where the company is expected to unveil a next generation Megapack product. A keynote starts at 8 p.m. on September 8th. Now, in option activity on Friday, you had 279 orders totaling $196.4 million with a positive order value of 66%. So option activity was pretty strong on Friday. Not super great, but definitely pretty good. Now, you did have about 20,000 shares that were covered on Friday, so that's a step in the right direction. 2.84% short interest of free float, $26.98 billion sold short in Tesla, totaling 76.89 million shares currently sold short, and 15.86 million shares out on loan today. Now, in broader market news, Donald Trump says the European Union must stop this practice against American companies immediately. He's referring to the fees and penalties and taxes put on U.S. tech companies. U.S. Secretary of War Hegseth says the U.S. will go on offense, not just defense. Trump says the Ukraine war will end or there'll be hell to pay. The US and EU will discuss new Russia sanctions on Monday. Trump says we want to get along with other countries. Trump on the jobs report says he will talk about that soon. Trump says China, what they're doing with fentanyl is a terrible thing. It's coming through Canada. A senior US administration official says penalties can include sanctions, export controls, and exclusion from the US of those responsible for detention. Trump says it is exciting to host the G20 next year. And he says the 2026 G20 will be in Miami. Trump says that Hassett is considered for a different position, which we now know is potentially the Fed chair role. Trump says the US will end up with more electricity than China. Trump says that he sort of knows who he is going to pick for the Fed. He says that Hassett is one of 3 possibilities for the Fed. Trump says that Hassett believes in low interest rates. And Trump predicts gas prices will be $2 a gallon soon. There's definitely some kind of deal between Trump and Saudi Arabia. Over this weekend, specifically tomorrow, there is going to be an OPEC Plus meeting where Saudi Arabia is pushing for another hike in output, which would lower prices. Trump says Vice President J.D. Vance will take his place this year at the G20 in, I believe it's South Africa. Trump will invite Poland to the 2026 G20 as well. And Trump says he will consider Russia at the 2026 G20. Trump says that interest rates are extremely high and he calls them excessive. Trump says there are more elements not shown yet in the jobs data. Speaker of the House announces that Trump was an FBI informant tasked with taking down Epstein. Hassett says that indicators point to a strong situation in the economy. And the G20 will take place at his Doral golf course. That's Trump's golf course. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent does not want the Fed job, although we've heard that before. It's being reiterated again today. Trump is considering Warsh, Hassett, and Waller as possibilities for the Fed role. Trump says the big year will be the next year, and yeah, I think that's correct. I think 2026 is going to be a big year for markets and a rebound for the economy. A rebound in the sense of consumers starting to get ahead again. I think some of that has to do with real estate. I think as rates come down, as people can sell their homes again and get a new home, people are going to have a lot of extra money in the bank from selling their home. And I think that is a really underrated part of next year is real estate that can start to move again. Trump says that Google is a great US company, and he says that Europe has been imposing astronomical fines. And Trump says he will discuss with the European Union about tech fines. And in the news today, President Xi of China and Putin will be observers at the G20 next year in Miami. Trump says that he has decided which city he will send the National Guard to next, but he won't disclose the next city just yet. And again, if you do not support this, you should, again, unsubscribe. Because if you've ever grown up in a very violent city or lived in a violent city, this is a good thing. Politics aside. This should have happened a long time ago. Trump says he does not worry about U.S.-India relations. And he says he will always be friends with Modi, that is the Indian Prime Minister. He says we just have moments with India. Trump says that nearly $17 trillion will be invested over the next couple of months, and he expects the figure to increase significantly. Trump says that AI plans are massive after Zuckerberg announced $600 billion in AI spending through 2028, which is, similar to other companies. Modi, India's prime minister, reciprocates Trump's positive assessment of ties, which is a step in the right direction in terms of trade. Now, the CNN Fear and Greed Index is coming in today at 53, or at least on Friday. The previous close was 51. Market momentum is neutral. Stock price strength, extreme greed. Stock price breadth is greed. Put and call options in greed. Market volatility is neutral. Safe haven demand in fear, and junk bond demand in fear. As we talked about as well, the AI investor sentiment survey is pretty bearish right now, with bearish investors at 43.4%, neutral investors at 23.9%, and bullish investors at 32.7%. People are not bullish at all, and that is positive for the stock market. You want bears. You need bears to keep the stock market moving higher, and we got plenty of those. On Friday, you had the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average. This is really what I look at as a sign of breadth in markets and internal strength. At 63.2%, even though we had a bad jobs report, you actually went up almost 1%. Almost 1% of stocks broke above their 50-day moving average on Friday. That is a very strong sign. And although we have trended lower from about 80% we seen in about mid-June or early June, you're still sitting at pretty elevated levels, which is a good sign. So let me know your thoughts on all of this down below in the comment section. We have a lot more to discuss specifically in regards to Tesla in the next video, my new bold prediction and my expectations for why we are going to see what I expect, which is a large rally to the upside into the end of this year and 2026. With that said, hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Check out that link down below in the description of this video for the trading community if you want to come join it. Portfolio is up 97% year to date. We are beating 99.9% of hedge funds and institutions, okay? The strategy that I have really perfected in the last 4 or 5 years couldn't come at a better moment, okay? Especially into the end of this year and 2026. It's going to get really exciting. I think this portfolio could be up over 200% by December 31st. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, not a financial planner. I'm documenting what I am doing. Do not blindly invest your money alongside anyone else. Make sure you understand the companies you're investing in. You understand the risk that is associated. If you don't, you will almost certainly lose your money. The risk is stock's going to have a 10% down day or a 20% or 30% down week, which hasn't happened in a long time, but could happen. And then you're going to sell out and then the stock's going to skyrocket. You're going to beat yourself up. Okay. It's just, you got to understand the companies you're investing in. As Warren Buffett says, like, he doesn't kick himself for missing, you know, the stocks that he didn't understand, the businesses that he didn't know about, right? How can you kick yourself for that? He kicks himself for the opportunities he knew about and understood that he did not invest in. Okay? Don't be the guy that understood about the company and missed out, or don't be the guy that kicks yourself because you don't understand a company. It's not your playing field, my guy. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next one.